You want to know another one? TRT, testosterone replacement therapy. Go to the gym. Because why? Because now I don't need Xanax anymore. Now I don't need an erectile dysfunction pill anymore. I don't watch porn anymore, so I don't need an ED fucking pill anymore. Oh, you're kidding me. I don't need to fucking, I can sleep because I go to the gym every day and eat properly, so now I don't need your fucking sleeping pills anymore. You're kidding me. I can actually fix these problems on my own. Let me see, is there a source on here? What's the #1 source on the fucking internet for that type of information? It's that podcast.
Today, New York Magazine ran a hit piece on Andrew Huberman. Andrew Huberman is a neurobiologist from Stanford who has gotten famous over the last couple of years because he has helped millions of people get healthy. Now, the hit piece was not about how he's convinced millions of Americans to quit drinking alcohol, or how he's explained the dangers of using tobacco, or how he's explained the importance of exercise, or how he's disseminated the information of how getting sunlight in your eyes and regulating your circadian rhythm is crucial for your health. Rather, the hit piece is about his private life. They dig into his private life and his relationships with women. They do this to try to frame Andrew Huberman in a negative light. I think this is extremely disgusting, and let me know if you agree with me on this. What Andrew Huberman does in his public life is he puts out a podcast and he puts out tons of information on how to improve your health. And let me know below if Andrew Huberman has helped your health in any way, because he certainly has helped mine. Once that flame starts to burn very bright, they have no other choice. They have nothing to attack but his personal life. It is insane to me that they ran this piece, and it seems to me they're just trying to tear down somebody who has helped so many people with their health. Me personally, I don't care what Andrew Huberman does in his private life. I can watch any podcast I want, and I choose to watch his because it contains really valuable information about subjects that I am interested in. I am not going to this guy for relationship advice or how I should treat women in my private life, and he doesn't talk about that. I think it's disgusting what we do nowadays, prying apart people's private lives. And I really question why New York Magazine would run this piece. Most of the funding for mainstream media comes from the pharmaceutical industry. It also comes from processed food companies. Right below that is alcohol companies. Here you have somebody who has gained fame and gained millions of listeners, and what does he say? Eat real food, don't drink alcohol, tobacco's bad for you, and he is making a giant impact. He's sold out an arena in Australia. Consumers are beginning to vote with their dollar, and when something becomes such a big threat to their bottom line, they will do what they need to do to destroy that person. So I stand with Dr. Huberman. Let me know if you do below. Keep in mind that he has broke no laws. All the stuff that they said in his personal life, there's no law.
All right, let's keep
going.
First of all, drinking game. Every time he says personal life, I want you to take a shot, because he said that like 25 times.
Sure.
Every single time.
Well, what's your opinion on this? I know you're not super familiar with Andrew Huberman, but what do you think about this whole situation? So just so we can back up, Andrew Huberman does a podcast on medicine.
I've seen all his stuff.
For sure.
Like sporadically it'll come up on my feed.
But he doesn't hit you up about dating advice.
Why does that matter if he's doing abusive things behind closed doors?
Yeah, no, it wasn't abusive. It's that he was seeing multiple women at the same time. Yeah.
The article that I saw said that he was abusive.
What do you mean? Like physically abusive?
It didn't say. That's what I was telling you at the beginning. It was very vague. It said that he was very disloyal and unfaithful.
Okay.
And that he was abusive. Literally the word abusive behind closed doors.
I didn't see anything implying that he
I'm sure
hit
like
anyone.
verbal abuse or whatever, but regardless, what he does in his private life is just like any other celebrity or any other person on the planet. Just because you do something good in the front line and you show that you're a good person or giving advice or helpful does not mean that behind closed doors you get to be a monster.
Okay, right. So just consider in other situations when you're supposed to have investigative journalism, you should get multiple sources, right?
Correct. Yes, absolutely.
So they substantiated nothing of what these women said. He just talked to 6 women who said that we were dating him at different times, and some of them say we're dating concurrently. When they asked Andrew Huberman, they said, I was not seeing this girl at this time or whatever. So they haven't got his side of the story at all.
So why is this even news then?
Oh, it's because it's one of the biggest stories in the world.
Biggest stories on there.
I think it's because of how famous he is.
Yeah, I think like him bringing in, new fans and bringing in money, monetizing, no tobacco, no alcohol, that's a big thing. So of course they're going to put a negative light on that and try to dim his light, try to take that away from him because, the media doesn't like that. The media wants to focus on the negative stuff.
Yeah, and if they take it away from like the tobacco and alcohol and everything, like they're getting a loss financially.
Yeah, right.
So.
And that's why he was saying like the voters, how he's getting, he's bringing in a different level of health and wealth. They don't like that.
But the thing is, when you read the article, there's a few things that are very terrifying about it. Number one, the article begins by talking about the fact that he does give good advice. He really does. When something's his opinion, he says his opinion. When something's a medical fact, he talks about that. But people are saying because he's a doctorate of neurology, he can't talk about cold plunges. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, it's ridiculous. Like, that is one of the criticisms that I hear. None of the criticisms are actually about the advice that he gives. I mean, there's some vague ones that are in there. The majority of the criticism is about the fact that these 6 women said that he was dating them at the the same time. Wait, say it again.
Who cares?
Yeah,
exactly.
That's my point.
Who cares?
And so many people out there do that.
That's his private life.
I know.
Okay.
It's his private. So let him have that.
Can we pull this up real quick? I want to show you guys something.
And maybe they weren't exclusive.
Well, here it is.
Can you stop it real quick?
New York
Go to
Magazine.
the beginning. Okay, let's go back to the beginning. Real quick with this. Real quick. Remember what he said. What were the reasons? Who was the main people behind advertising? Anybody?
Big Pharma.
Big Pharma.
Big grub.
Processed foods.
Big food.
Okay. And then I want you to pay attention to this woman right here who looks like she's had a bit of processed foods. And then let's listen to what she has to say here.
She needs a cold
Well,
plunge.
here it is. New York Magazine putting out this big expose on Dr. Andrew Huberman, and it's not good. And you know what else I want to say? Let the record show. For years on here, I have been calling out this guy, saying he's a little bit grifty. I have been noting some of the things that are in the article about what is actually his area of expertise. What is actually this lab? It's all in the article. A lot of the stuff that I talked about 2 years ago, more than 2 years ago, is in this article. And I got so much crap, in particular from men being like, you don't know what you're talking about. You don't know anything, da-da-da-da-da. Kind of seems like I did know some stuff. Do I know everything? No. Does this man seem like a deceitful, manipulative POS? Yes. I do wish, though, that the article focused a little bit more on how he really tries to brand himself as this expert in everything. Like, I have a video up about how when he does his, like, you know, is alcohol bad for you episode.
Is alcohol bad for you?
He pulls from a study that links breast cancer and alcohol consumption, but it's from 1987. And I've talked to a few people who have said, like, yeah, you really, like, shouldn't, like, actively be pulling the data from that at this point, because, like, now we have all these genetic markers, etc. And then another thing I would say is, like, you know, I did another one where I showed how, like, he was like, oh, okay, like, we're going to call, like, people are saying moderately running on a treadmill, so I'm going to call that, and, like, he used his own terminology and then based his own theory off the terminology he uses. No,
Wow,
that's
so
actually
damning.
not how you do, like, actual studies. Anyway, all of this to say, read the article. Dr.
Okay,
Huberman,
now hey guys,
Huberman,
ready?
Grifter.
Ready here. Watch here. I'm gonna point at someone who
And I was saying
didn't
it
read the fucking article
before
because the article had nothing to do with his fucking medical advice. It had to do with him dating 6 women at once, and she didn't bring that up once. I just, again, normally I would never make remarks about someone's physical appearance. I just think it's funny that a woman with a jiggly chin is sitting there talking about how he's talking about you shouldn't drink alcohol and running on a treadmill. No shit, Karen. No shit. No wonder you don't fucking like that.
Stop it.
What?
You said she has a jiggly chin.
Whatever. I don't care. I don't care. Like normally I would never make a comment about that, but it's just so apparent when you heard the previous one. Yes, people who process foods, like, again, the mainstream the food industrial complex, they don't like it when people come out there and tell you to eat paleo, eat real food, stay away from junk food.
Yeah.
Go again. You want to know another one? TRT, testosterone replacement therapy. Go to the gym. Because why? Because now I don't need Xanax anymore. Now I don't need an erectile dysfunction pill anymore. I don't watch porn anymore, so I don't need an ED fucking pill anymore. Oh, you're kidding me. I don't need to fucking, I can sleep because I go to the gym every day and eat properly, so now I don't need your fucking sleeping pills anymore. You're kidding me. I can actually fix these problems on my own. Let me see, is there a source on here? What's the #1 source on the fucking internet for that type of information? It's that podcast. And then I see this woman with her fucking jiggly chin sitting there talking about, he's made it an excuse about walking on a treadmill. Are you out of your fucking mind? Because you want to know who doesn't walk on a treadmill? I can tell you right now. Guys, listen to me. I love, like, again, I get this thing, you know, it's like, oh, drink red wine before you go to bed because there's antioxidants. Eat some fucking broccoli. They have antioxidants. I don't mind if anyone drinks. Just stop telling me it's good for you because it's fucking not. Yeah. Okay, that's the part that's
There's
so crazy.
other ways to get your antioxidants.
But my point is, did this woman at any point talk? You heard it at the end. He goes, I really wish they had gone into more about him being a grifter. They didn't, because he's not a grifter. Because you weren't right, Karen. That's the problem. And that shit made me so angry when I saw this. Because here's the thing. I feel bad initially because I hate the fact that we're even talking about this. Because Andrew Huberman is worth more than probably, as far as his podcast is concerned, he's helped more people. If I was going to say Lex Friedman, Joe Rogan, whatever, Logan Paul, whoever the biggest podcasters are, he's helped more people as far as being a popular podcast, you could possibly say than anyone in the world. And you're trying to tear this dude down and just not get his side of the story. Again, he is not giving me fucking dating advice.
Why has he not commented on anything that's been reported?
I'm going to ask you a question. No, so I don't know. He has. He had I don't know, somebody in his, I don't know if it was a PR agent or whatever, his personal team denoted that there in a couple of cases that the women said that they were dating him at a certain time, and he's like, we weren't together. Ladies, have you ever dated a guy and non-exclusively, and then it got exclusive?
Yes.
And then for a while it wasn't exclusive again?
Yes.
So that's happened before. Where like you guys are like moves out of your apartment, but you're still sleeping together and it's not exclusive. But you used to be exclusive. So, and then you find out he's seeing someone else, and then you get angry. That could happen. Yeah. That actually could happen. We have no context to know what was going on in that situation.
Because that's his private life. We don't know those personal things.
Yes.
It's outside looking in, so why are we defining this person by that?
No,
stuff,
defining this person.
right?
How about at the end of the article when all 6 of the girls are in a group chat together?
Yeah.
Get the fuck out of here, dude. Are you kidding me? This is like terrifying to me. Like, we're getting into this point where it's like, this seems totally normal. And it's not, because remember the media went after Tiger Woods. Because Tiger Woods, what did he do? He cheated on his wife with Denny's waitresses and fucking porn stars. That's why we had a problem with it, because he cheated on his wife. But what did we say about Derek Jeter? Does anyone remember? We said nothing when he was fucking Jessica Biel and Jessica Alba and Mariah Carey. We said nothing. What happened with George Clooney? What did we say about George Clooney? We said nothing. Nothing. We didn't say shit about Magic Johnson. We didn't say about any of these fucking dudes. We didn't say anything. You want to know why? Because they weren't married. And now we just dropped the bar. You don't even have to fucking be married anymore. Right. Wasn't it horrible how he cheated on his wife? Wait a second. He's not even fucking married. That's the part that's so crazy.
Let me see if I can give you some context here. Okay, so Andrew Huberman is how old now? 49?
48, 49, yeah.
49, okay. Jacked.
Yeah.
Good looking,
looks really good.
Good looking guy. Like, takes care of himself, obviously. Has a PhD in something.
I think he has 2 PhDs.
Okay, yeah, okay. So the guy is at Stanford. Okay, so that's the other thing. Guy is the definition of a high value dude. Let's just be honest here. Okay, I don't know how tall is he. Probably taller than me.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah, it makes a difference.
He's got enough podcast subs to not make up for being
exactly.
5'2". He's good.
Yeah, he makes up for it. Anyways, I would say, okay, then the other part is never been married, no kids, correct? Because I know he was wanting. The article itself said he wanted to have kids. That was one of his future goals or whatever. At 48 years old, right? So, by all measurements, this guy is the ideal mate for the women that are like now complaining about this guy, because according to the article, he had a quote-unquote type, okay? Yeah. That type was anywhere in the late 30s to early 40s. Okay. She had to be educated. She had to have sort of like take care of herself into paleo or whatever, taking cold plunges, whatever, having something that is, compatible with him. Right?
How much you want to make about the woman who wrote the article is also in that same demographic?
Definitely. Mm-hmm. When I show you the next video, we can confirm that. We will confirm that in the next video.
I have a question. Yeah. I just have to say something. Huberman? Huberman? Okay. So, based on the description you're giving me, if you're going to date this guy, you have to know what you're signing up.
Right. That's exactly where I was going.
Hold on, but let's talk about this. I agree with you, and I also ladies. You ever met a male stripper or DJ or a fucking VIP host who lies about fucking multiple? And has that ever happened to you? Ladies, raise your fucking hand. You live in Las Vegas. Stop keeping your hand down.
I haven't dated him, but I know.
Okay, but you know what I'm talking about. It happens.
Whoever do you mean?
The shit happens all the time. I want you to consider this, though, right? I want you to consider this. Those guys, they know what they're doing because they probably, ladies, be real. You or a friend have at least know one guy you've been with that has 100 body count.
Oh my God!
Yeah, absolutely. Sure. More.
All of them.
More
okay, cool.
Definitely.
Got it? All right, cool. These guys know what they're talking about. Andrew Huberman grew up, or he at least was studying in a part of the world where some of the most hideous women in the country live, which is the northern part of California.
Right.
And
Silicon Valley.
while he's there, there's I'm not trying to be mean. I'm just telling you guys, it's like fucking 17 dudes for every girl, and the guys are rich. And so he lives there. He's studying for 2 PhDs, and then he has a girlfriend. Now, just imagine if you have a girlfriend. The guys who are watching this, you're totally going to be able to follow along. Maybe some of you ladies won't. You have a girlfriend. This is the hottest girl you've ever been with in your life. Then all of a sudden, you get 4 million people following you on fucking YouTube. And women come up to you that are hotter than any woman you've ever seen in your life, just ready to have sex with you. Now, I know, it's so terrible. None of you ladies could possibly imagine why any guy would ever do that. But there's no dude out there who's listening to this is like, yeah, I kind of get it. Like, again, and by the way, you can also cheat and not be a narcissist. Women cheat, and I don't think they're narcissists just because they cheat. You just found something better. You weren't getting what you needed out of a relationship. Men can cheat, and that doesn't make them narcissists. There is nothing about this article. He's done so much to help other people. That is not the activity of a narcissist. So that's why I have a big problem with this.
I'm confused as to what is the picture that you're trying to paint? That we don't need to label him because of what he does behind closed doors, or that we don't know enough to accuse him of anything?
Yes.
Like, what are we trying to get at with this conversation?
So good. Three different things. Number one, it's really out of bounds for them to write this article. Number two, we don't know what the truth is. And even if we don't condone, Mac and Murphy had a really great quote. He was like, I'm not a fan of Andrew Huberman, but I feel gross reading this article, right? Because they're going after him. And the thing is, like, I'm just really curious how the rest of the people in that academic sphere are going to rally around. Is Lex Friedman going to shun him, or we're going to see a situation where what Chris Williamson is going to do? Because here's the thing. Because I got news for you. When Chris Williamson or Lex Friedman fuck up, they're going to do this to them too.
Oh yeah.
And they better recognize this. This is the same thing with Jonah Hill. All the people who stood up for Jonah Hill were part of a political party that Jonah Hill doesn't belong to, so he was never able to acknowledge it. And I'm worried about the same situation with Huberman, because when this situation is all the guys that are standing up for him being like, dude, he didn't do anything wrong, they're not part of the same political party that academia is.
I don't know what his PR team is like. Because I know he's probably he has to have people. A guy that big has to have people, right? So when people are asking, well, how come he hasn't like responded to any of this yet? I'm like, if he has a smart PR team, they won't say jack shit for a while. Yeah. Because what they're going to do is they're going to make it look bad for New York Magazine, which it does now, because we're doing shows like this, because people are responding as the way that they are.
Chill at the house, Andrew. I'll make them look bad, because they look bad, because we're about to make them look even fucking worse.
Give your PR team a raise, because you did exactly what you should do. So what's happening is they're looking to see which way sort of like the wind blows as far as public opinion is concerned. Now, here's what's going to happen. It's going to be boys against girls. Guys are going to go, he's a genius. I can't believe he's being pilloried like this. And then there's going to be women who are saying he's a manipulative motherfucker, and he's like had 6 women that he was fucking at the same time, and he led them on. He was manipulating them, yada yada yada. And that is where the real story is.
If hypothetically he is manipulating 6 women, that's wrong. I want you guys to understand. I still think that's wrong.
I was looking at all of the conversations in the Twitter feeds about this. All the women were like, he's a manipulative son of a bitch, and every dude on there is like, why are you digging into his personal life?
If I'm not saying if that's true, he's not wrong. Number one, we don't know if it's true, but that's not the point. The point is he's not a dating coach, and he's not a Christian seminary leader. He is talking about science. He's talking about wearing a fucking Oura ring and then putting like getting some sunlight in your eyes. Like, it's crazy to me.
I think that not saying at all that the girls are right for saying anything about his personal life, but I think the point that some of the women are trying to make is that you're taking advice from someone who behind closed doors is not the person he's alluding himself to be, this healthy, well-rounded, mentally,
that's my one critique.
So, but that's like a lot of people.
That makes sense, but how is he unhealthy and not getting enough sunlight because of his
girlfriend? Do you want to take advice from someone that tells you that the best optimal way of living is a certain way, but behind closed doors they're manipulative, they're abusive, they're
who isn't honest?
Listen,
for health, yes. For dating, I'll get a dating coach.
But separate that. Regardless, you're still preaching to people how to have a better quality of life. And the kind of person who manipulates and cheats and lies and abuses people is not a healthy, mentally and emotionally sound person. So I think that is the only component of this that gets led down a different road, because A, what happens behind closed doors is his business, but B, if there's no proof of it, then I wouldn't even know why they would comment about the abuse.
This is so little. The problem is those 6 women have every right to talk as much shit about him as they want, just not in the fucking New Yorker. That's crazy. Front page on the New Yorker. Could you imagine the cover story?
Dude, you want to know something? It? The New Yorker did, not them.
But hold on a second. Let me tell you something else. If I was dating 6 women at the same time and I got caught, the New Yorker wouldn't write about it because I'm not that popular. You want to know? So not only is the New Yorker doing this to a man who isn't married, they're swagger jacking him because he's the most popular dude in this whole field.
No, because it gets them publicity.
Okay, that's what swagger jacking means.
Okay, but do you understand? Like, it's the same thing as that girl's video that you posted the last time I was here, where she's like, I want to get gangbanged by like 600 people in the bathroom.
Yeah.
Like, obviously, they're jumping on a bandwagon of something that's has no right. Like, I don't know. They just want to be able to say that they had a piece of, I guess, the pie that's being passed out right now. And if it's really not that deep because no one has had proof yet, then why are we even talking about it?
Because it's shitty to like jab at somebody's character.
Well, yeah, but why are people perpetuating it if they don't have the
proof?
Because
in the interest of full disclosure, he has talked about relationship stuff. He has talked with Dr. David Buss before. He has done relationship like podcasts in the past.
But he was. I don't think he was giving prescriptions.
No, he was doing interviews.
Even if that's not his forte and that's like the thing that he does the most, he's still out there preaching about having a better, healthy life. And you can't be a healthy person if you're a abusive person.
So I don't see any evidence of the abuse. I see
Agreed. That's why it shouldn't have even been brought up.
I see some evidence that he may have been talking to multiple women at the same time. Now, here's the thing. Albert Einstein came up with a theory of relativity and won the Nobel Prize for the photoelectric effect in 1921, and he still fucked his cousin. I'm sorry. Like, should I just stop listening to the fucking guy? It doesn't make any difference. What's his face? Isaac Newton invented differential calculus when he was 25 years old and died a virgin. So I just shouldn't listen to him because he's bad at dating advice? No. If you're right, here's the thing. If you're right, you're right. It doesn't make any difference. That's why I don't agree with you on this. If he is coming up with scientific surveys to show a proof, I don't care if he's fucking 12 girls at the same time. Okay. The truth is the truth. If you're right, you're right.
You don't care.
Okay.
You don't care.
But it doesn't mean it's wrong. But it doesn't mean
no
he's wrong.
one has said to him that none of his stuff is right.
That Karen earlier with the jiggly chin said his stuff was wrong.
But the Karen with the jiggly chin is looking for her 15 minutes as well.
For sure.
Regardless, everyone knows that he's done more good than bad, right? So I think that right now the only thing is that you don't care. Like, he beat the fuck out of this girl one time.
Bro,
but
if he beat the fuck out of his girlfriend and there was proof, this wouldn't even be an article, and it wouldn't be in the New Yorker either. It'd be in the New York Times.
I'm saying what you're saying is that you don't really care about that component. It's not that
I think this is fucked up in general because shit gets spun no matter what. So, like, if you weren't physically there to be involved as him with these individual girls, you have no idea what their fucking dynamic is. And women are crazy. Trust me, I have nothing but girlfriends, too.
No one will ever know except for those 2 in the room.
So, like, the crazy thing is you can't take what could be his personal. For all we know, he could be dating through time trying to find a girl that he feels is his perfect match.
Which is pretty much
we don't know.
Normal.
You know what I mean? It's none of our damn fucking business.
And maybe those other girls are dating other men as well.
Business life and personal life are two different things. Let the man create his livelihood.
The other issue is you have relationships that go from exclusive to non-exclusive because you went into a fight, and so maybe one person thinks it's exclusive, the other person. I'm not saying that
you guys are speculating. We don't have to justify why he had more than one girl at the same time. That's his business. The only thing that I keep saying to you that matters to me is that when you said this is what we're going to be talking about, the one vague thing that I saw, the one article that I saw said that he was very, very unfaithful and that he was abusive behind closed doors. So the component of being abusive and not a stand-up guy is the only thing that matters to me in this conversation. If there is no proof of him being abusive and no one's actually coming out and saying like there's bruises or whatever,
so what we should do is look at the article and see if there's any proof about how the article was written. Do you have any proof about that?
Or who even wrote it? It could be some fucking angry crazy ex who's writing it, and then you have it one-sided.
Let's load up
Just
Cigar.
because somebody writes something and it's their opinion doesn't make it fact.
Wait,
you know, and yet people will hang to
Lynn.
anything negative to believe it because it makes them feel better.
Go ahead, Lynn.
So
Absolutely.
I just want to say, I feel like as a society, we've kind of been like desensitized to this, but just because a man isn't married, I still feel like cheating is bad.
Yeah.
Like I don't want.
I agree with you. Cheating is bad. My point is, but is it New Yorker?
No.
The front page of the New Yorker.
Side note.
You gotta take that up with the New Yorker. Stop telling us.
Like knew someone. That's why
the conversation has been going is he's not married. We shouldn't be talking about this because he's not married. But just we need to realize the society that we're creating.
Yeah.
Like.
Yeah, I don't think it's not because he's not married. I think we shouldn't be talking about this because it's not our business. I think that's the issue.
That's not the focus that we should be worried about.
By the way,
because what you focus on is what grows.
Yeah.
Right? That's what I believe.
Yeah.
So if you want to put all your focus on, that one main component, it's just like let's So, and the reason why we're talking about it today is because this is someone that
Jesse,
you guys have
you're probably gonna want to hear
listened
this.
to. You guys have listened to, and you guys are basically like not fans but supporters of who he is. So that's why who you've known him to be.
Even
anyway.
if I wasn't like again, Mac and Murphy, he's not a supporter of him. It just feels gross that they did this.